What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. It's not the breakdown. It's not the breakdown. It's not the breakdown today. Still not the breakdown. Though it's Tuesday's live. That's what it is today. It's Tuesday's live, and you're live with the most handsome son of a bitch in media today. That's right, David Gokhshtein. Welcome, everybody, for tuning in. I still have this shit that does not work. You guys lied about applications. I've looked all... By the way, I am not downloading any applications. How about that? I'm kind of scared to download anything onto my fucking phone because of everything that happened with Ledger. Okay, somebody downloaded a goddamn fake-ass Ledger app, and they got almost 6 Bitcoin taken from them. And right now, those apps have... I believe the count is in the millions, like $9.5 million has been stolen through the App Store. So fuck that, okay? Fuck that. I absolutely refuse. But I do want this to work, man. By the way, today in New York, it is going to be 70 degrees. So there is no overtime. I am hopping in the whip, and I'm suntanning my balls. That's right, because it's that kind of day today, ladies and gentlemen. We are ripping. Thank God for Donald Trump. I'm not going to keep Landy in the back. I'm going to bring Landy right in here. Thank God for Donald J. Trump. That is right. I said it. We are ripping. We are absolutely ripping towards the upside. Well, you guys were crying, not listening to anything that I was saying. They didn't listen to anything I was saying, or Landy. I just put it in layman's terms. I said, get out there, front run the market. Listen, I know it might be too early to celebrate, okay? So I will try to hold back today. I know it might be a little bit too early, but still, it feels good to be in the green for 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. And you know what makes me feel even better? You know why Know why my balls feel a little bit better today? It's watching China cry. That's right. China demanding the United States of America come to the table and start negotiating with Iran because they are being affected by this. And by the way, all you motherfuckers that went on to the goddamn timeline and said they had the audacity to say that the United States of America let through China's ship. You all ran with a BBC, a CNN narrative that never, ever, ever happened. Get your ports right. This is what I mean. A lot of you guys never, ever finished school. Never finished school. We own this shit now. The United States of America, we own this now. Good morning, Landy. I'm sorry, I've been holding that in.
Hey, I mean, look, I'm all for it. The charts were right, and I've said this before. Is like you can listen to all the narratives and the discourse, and you can, try to figure it out for yourself. And the up to the moment, Austin's tracking, and oh my God, they let a ship through. First of all, I was right again.
I was right again.
Yes, you were. When I said that the United States was blockading Iranian ships that were coming from Iranian ports. Okay. It's not like the United States doesn't know. There's only really two viable deep water ports, and realistically, there's only one. But anything coming through the strait that was being blockaded, and I mentioned this yesterday, this is not a strict blockade of every single ship trying to pass through the straits. It is just those that are trying to get oil from Iran. And this was a UAE ship, as you mentioned. For those that don't understand anything about geography and which country is which, and not all of the Arab nations are the same, as it turns out, libs. But this is narrative shaping by media operations that have international interests and are against what Trump is doing, which is realigning the global order and the monetary order and reshaping the power structure of the United States, and really just consolidating power and taking power back from the allies that have benefited for a very long time from United States security, while draining our middle class and our treasure over here. We spend so much money on protecting the world, especially in the sea, and protecting global shipping and maintaining military presence around the world with various countries that do not give us anything back, but in fact benefit from us being there and from our security, and have nothing in return. They blocked our products from being shipped to them for trade. They hollowed out our economies through investment in offshoring of those investments and taking money out of our economy. And it allowed them a really robust financial structure, especially coming out of London and out of Davos. And look, this was all well telegraphed at the very beginning of Trump's administration. But I said this to you after the Trump administration organized probably the biggest cohort of people to ever go to Davos. And what did they do? They spent the entire time just shitting on them, like telling them that this is going to change and you're going to see how it's going to change. And now we are actually seeing how it's going to change. And the other thing is, I was right from the very beginning.
There we go. Do you hear how many times he's saying he was right?
He was right. I will break my arm patting myself on the back. And the reason why I'm saying
Somebody
that
put the counter on.
Here's the thing. I actually got a lot of pushback right from the very beginning, whether it was on where oil prices were going to be or what the actual strategy was and how things were connected and what's going to happen surrounding this stuff. And one of the reasons why I'm going to take victory lap after victory lap, and this is going to be pretty consistent all the way through, is because the people who are supposedly informed about these subjects are reading biased takes that are full of disinformation on purpose. And they take this as the gold standard of information. They run around acting like they're so confused. What could possibly be the plan? And it's like, you just haven't been paying attention. All you're doing is latching on to one narrative after another instead of actually paying attention to what's happening in the world and what more importantly, what the objectives of the administration are. If you don't understand what the objectives of the this is not hidden information, right, David? It's not like the administration hasn't put pen to paper on this shit for years.
They've been very transparent on, and especially Trump, on what he is going to do.
Yeah.
On the campaign trail, since getting into the White House, he has told, you see, this is where it baffles me. You listen to we have no other choice but to listen to mainstream media, whether it's CNN, Fox, whoever. And you sit back, liberal media is baffled. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. No, you can't be like that. You know why? Because on the campaign trail, he told you exactly what he's going to do, not just for America, but outside of it. He told you exactly who he's going after.
Yeah.
He laid it all out.
His administration, his national security and economic, when everybody was approved and got into office, what did they do? They released their strategy. They literally put pen to paper from a national security point of view and an economic point of view. And for every single section of what his plans were, he had people, obviously, as every administration does, lay out what the objectives are and why they want to achieve those objectives. They literally said what they were going to do, and then they did it. And everybody acts like, oh my God, where's the plan? You can literally go look at the damn plan. And it's not like hidden. It's not like the rest of the world didn't know. Why do you think that they have so much propaganda already pre-prepared for every move that he makes? It's because he literally put out there what they were going to do, what their strategy was. If you listen to all of his advisors, you don't have to agree with him either. You can hate his guts, but if you don't know what he's doing, then shut the fuck up. Because if you're only
puppet, he said that for it.
Oh, you know how many people got in my DMs yesterday?
I am proud of you. I am proud of you for using the F-bomb. Okay.
I'm usually this little puppet got turned into a little frog there, a little trolling frog.
You know what? And then you sit back. He goes after Greenland. Why? Now you start putting the pieces together, right? Yep. He went after the Panama Canal, right? Well, which should have never been in China's hands. We got that back. Venezuela, we know why he went down there. Got that back. Iran, you guys are still stuck on Israel. Oh my God.
They just banned us.
Wow.
That was me. Got too froggy.
Wow.
What I wonder what they're because I told them to shut the fuck up, probably, right?
Hold on.
Let's see what the reason is.
Nothing as of yet. Hold on. This is weird. God damn it, man.
Hateful is probably going to be something like hateful something or another.
No. It's going live. God damn it. It's going live.
Interesting. It was up and then gone. Well,
Landy, what the fuck did you do?
Too spicy for TikTok? Wasn't even that hot of a take. Just a victory lap.
How do I get the I can't get it back on.
Oh man. Wait.
Well, I didn't get banned. Did I get banned on TikTok? No, I didn't get banned. Go look me up on TikTok. Hold on. I didn't get banned. There's no way.
You're still there. Did they restrict the live again?
No.
Yo, what?
Live is not restricted at all.
What the hell, David? Is
I
this
can
your
go live
internet
right now if
connection?
I wanted to. You know, this absolutely. Why
Man,
did they end it? Why the fuck did they end it? What the fuck was
they
said?
said, that little puppet said something about a frog. As soon as I mentioned a frog, you know what it is? They don't like Pepe. They don't like Apu. They know the lore. And they were like, "Oh, no, he just invoked Kek."
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I cannot believe. And we were on a roll.
Yeah.
All right, listen, it is what it is, guys. If you'll tune in here from TikTok, okay? Guys, if you're coming in here from TikTok, let everybody on TikTok know that we are here today. Let them go on X or YouTube or whatever to tune into the show. Like I don't know what the frog did here. Excuse me, what the goddamn puppet did here, but we ain't on TikTok right now. I gotta figure that out. I'm not gonna put it on live on my phone, okay? Because that's gonna just be ridiculous. How did it just shut off? That must have been a malfunction. Because it
Maybe
would have been a warning, like, or some shit.
some moderator just got in there and was like, "Oh, he's probably gonna start taking shots at." Well, you did take a shot at China, and then I started to, get a little, I started to go a little ape shit. Um,
Damn.
and look,
Oh my god, man.
that's
And
ridiculous.
the stream, you saw the stream, the TikTok stream was building up. Oh my god.
Yes, it was. It was. And funny thing is, it didn't even have a hater in there that and it was
Exactly,
just
right?
going. Yeah.
That came in at the same time.
Yep, yep, yep.
You
Look,
know, one of those things.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
Guys,
Interesting
seriously,
stuff.
if you're tuning, so we're gonna get back to the program. Obviously, we won't be on TikTok, but if you can, let the homies know on TikTok that we are here today. If they can go tune in on X or if they can tune in on YouTube, we'd appreciate it. Even Kick, let the homies know. Okay, we didn't say Chad. We didn't say shit. Like we've said worse. Okay, we've
We
said worse.
Yeah, there was a couple swear words. There was the F bomb. That's about it.
Hey, come on, grow a pair of balls. Like I said, we're gonna be suntanning our balls today. It's 70 degrees. Suntanning your balls. Honestly, I know you guys are like, what is he talking about? No, no, that's actually good for you. It is
Yeah.
has been proven to be good for you to lay out with your balls out. Okay. Anyway, let's get.
Sorry. There was a movement in California, like, and it was legit. I know it was parodied, but there was a movement in California where people were, uh, what is it called? Perianal tanning or something. It was
Um,
kind of wild because people would go out into the parks and just spread eagle towards the sky, and they were getting away with this. It was kind of wild. I don't know why this was happening.
Listen, some
Now,
some people, yeah, you know, shout out to the sponsors, man. I gotta say, shout out to Midnight, shout out to Poly Market, Cake Wallet, the People's Reserve. You know, God bless America. You know, God bless America. God bless the sponsors. We got some major, and we got a lot. There's a lot more shit cooking. Okay. By the way, episode 700 will be this week. Okay. Well, I want to make it nice. It's my 700 episode. Okay. I want to make it nice. All right. I want to make it nice, and I want to be live on TikTok too. So I'm gonna make sure that the puppet over here doesn't go ahead and say something stupid. I'm pretty sure it's because it's the first time he decides to curse on the program. We're off.
yeah, yeah.
We're off.
It's usually it look, when all else fails, blame the puppet.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And okay, so look, let's just say what it is, man. Great job right now. And I know, I am getting when I go on the timeline and I talk about Trump, and like everybody wants to, by the way, let me lay this out. You guys want to blame Trump for crypto going backwards, this, that. Let me lay this out for you real quick. Stop blaming Trump for crypto going back because we were going into a bearish market regardless. That's number one. Okay. It doesn't matter if Biden was in office.
Yep.
It didn't matter if Trump was in office. We were going backwards. That's it. And that's fine. That's the natural evolution of this cycle. That's it. Okay. Oh no, it went backwards because Trump launched the meme token and then World Liberty Finance and then Melania. I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. That had nothing to do with Bitcoin being where it's at right now. Okay, like, it had nothing to do with. I promise you, retail hasn't been here. Even when Trump came into office, retail did not come in here. That's how I stand. Like I stand on retail hasn't been here yet. All coins have been in a bear market since Biden was in office. We still have not, like for me personally, it's been, and me and Landy have talked about this ad nauseum. This has been a Bitcoin run. That's it. Now, will this all change in the next coming months? We will see. I think the real altcoins with real people behind them, they will send. I think some of your meme tokens will send. Not all of them, but I think some of the real meme coins will send. Okay, I think Dogecoin will break its all-time high, and maybe when Landy gets back on the mic, he'll say I disagree. But I think Dogecoin will break its all-time high, and you need to pray that it does. Because if it doesn't, not good news. Okay,
you can see the groundwork being laid right now for the next bull market, which we are not close to or in right now, right? And this is a nice bounce, and enjoy the bounce. But you probably saw Nikita mention that, crypto's having a tough time on the application. Wouldn't it be interesting if we did something about that, or something to that effect? And what did we just talk about last week? And then earlier this week, you and I were talking about X payments likely coming, and then having crypto integrated into X payments. That was the clearest indication I've seen as some sort of confirmation that this is coming very, very soon.
We are always early, never late. When you tune into this program, we are always early, never late. Go ahead and rewind the tapes. That was being talked about. That exact thing was, and then when he came out with that tweet, I already knew. I said, Landy's going to talk about this. He's going to come on air tomorrow, and he's going to fucking lace into this.
Yeah,
but I just want to give a congratulations real quick to Trump, though, because I'm getting attacked by the Trump haters.
Yep.
Badly. Like, you see it. Like, if you're on Twitter, they are after me. By the way, can I tell you something? I like it. Number one, I like it. Number two, you saying that I'm a Jew or calling me a Steen, I know that. Thank you. Thank you for stating the obvious. Like, oh
my God.
You know my reactions? Oh my God. I didn't know.
I'm just finding this out now. Oh, you're just telling me now. It's the Trump. I'm just hearing of this now. Oh my, you heard of who was it that passed?
Wow. I look at my phone, I'm like, wow.
I'm Jewish.
I found out I'm Jewish. He called me am I really Jewish?
It's all that privilege, all that Jewish privilege. I know.
Oh my God. Let me say this. Israel had nothing to do with this plan that Trump has laid forth. Okay. They participated, but they had nothing to do. I'm going to tell you right now, they have nothing to do with what Trump and the administration has laid out. I love how Trump has now told you Cuba's next. And if you think Greenland, because he made a remark yesterday, if you think Greenland is not back on the table, you're kidding yourselves. He is Thanos right now without the ending of Endgame.
Yep.
Trump is Thanos. He's collecting all them rings, but it ain't gonna end like Thanos did. Okay, he's collecting them all up. Because once he gets Cuba and Greenland, it is over. Energy will be bought from the United States of America. The economy will boom. China is suffering right now. China is literally suffering right now. And you know what I see on the timeline? I see people siding with China as if you are a citizen of the CCP. I see you guys aligning yourselves with Iran's regime. I hope they win. Americans, the audacity that you guys have to, that you utter that you're Americans is unreal.
It's
Yeah,
wild.
that's all I had to say on that. I'm
It's wild to
smiling
watch.
because I learned yesterday or throughout these couple of weeks that I am Jewish. Um, that's what I learned, and my last name ends with a Steen. Go for it,
That's
Landy.
wild. That's also wild. I had no idea.
Me too.
So I'm just learning of this now.
Well,
Um,
yo, you thought my last name was long? If I went ahead and took on my mother's maiden name, bro,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Look, it's wild to finally figure out that you are a Jewish man with the last name that ends in Steen. I never would have guessed. But you
Look,
know,
I get it. I don't
honestly,
look Jewish. I don't look Jewish. Like, come on here.
well,
I don't
uh,
look Jewish. Nobody calls me. Nobody. If anybody who meets me,
well, most Jews have had to do a wild flip, and that's because a lot of Jewish people, especially in the United States, were very pro-Democratic Party. Even
yeah.
though most are libertarian leaning, maybe a little left of center. It's now, and I really think that the October 7th stuff, the Israel Palestine stuff, the war in Ukraine, and the various ways in which anti-Semitism in the United States has been on the rise in from the woke left and the fake right has started to wake up a lot of American Jews to the fact that most of what is happening here in the United States is international narrative shaping against them to as a setup, right? To actually implement a lot of the power structure change that was being attempted in the Middle East. Because what a lot of people really don't understand is that China, you mentioned it before, they've taken a bunch of very strategic hits and they are hurting from that. A lot of people really don't, they look at the size of China, they hear about the population, they hear about how much production comes out of China, and they assume that, well, because China's military is also massive and they're on par with it. No, they're not. They're not even close. In their sixth generation, which fifth and sixth generation is kind of a messy subject anyway, when looking at military technology, they're still not close. Even with their most advanced fighter jets, they're not close when it comes to the naval superiority, the air superiority. They have numbers. And one of the biggest things I think that is really interesting that a lot of people don't account for when thinking about strategy, geopolitical strategy always involves military power and military might. Always. You can't just grease palms. And what they've been doing is not projecting power, they've been greasing palms, whether it was in South America, Africa, and then they were attempting the Middle East. And one of the things in the Gulf states, they've been torn, whether it was between the powers that be in London and the EU, the US, Russia, China, and they've been stuck in the middle of this energy situation, which in part is of their own making. And then they started to shift to trying to benefit from both sides. And that is where they exercise their actual control. And who are they aligning with? And this is very important. They are aligning the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, and the Gulf states, Pakistan, and the Gulf states, the UAE, and many of the Gulf states have aligned with the United States. And who laid the groundwork for that? Donald J. Trump in his very first term. And I've said this for years and years and years, and people have poo-pooed the Abraham Accords for a really long time. Well, look at, they don't work because they're still dealing with the Chinese and they're still sending them energy. That was never the point. The point is to do deals in that area and then form a pact of Gulf states separate from NATO and the European Union, separate from BRICS, that can allow them to unify with US backing in the region to start securing and diversifying their own shit so that they can be a check on these massive powers. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And by the way, for all of and people sending me DMs right now because you're too afraid to freaking tell me stuff in the chat. Not only was I right about oil, it's right back to the damn support. Where was that 200 and 250? The very first day that this conflict kicked off, because I can see your GCs, by the way. You think I'm not in there? You added me, you dumbass. Anyway,
Yo,
look,
don't get him angry again. We might get cut off of YouTube, and maybe even X at this point, man. I don't even that. Thank God this was an episode 700. You see,
I
like,
know, right?
hey, I sensed it. Again, I sensed it in my nuts. This is why it's good to tan your balls, because it is proven. It's a scientific fact that if you tan your balls, that you get an immediate shot of vitamin D, and that shit applies and it runs through your body and through your veins, and then you're able to. Anyway, welcome
Oil, right
to
back to
Tuesdays
support.
Live.
Look, right back to support. 90 to 95. What did I say yesterday? What did I say in the video? It needs to get above 105 to 107, exactly where it rejected. And I said, watch 90 to 95 for WTI. We're likely going to see a fractured market continue. And now we have Brent trading back above US oil. We have massive exports of US oil. We have tankers coming from all over the world to the Gulf of America. You don't think that that's a strategic win? Go ahead and explain to me how the strait being closed it hurts the United States in this scenario. Oh, well, it's about our allies. Our allies have been hollowing out our economy through foreign investment and through bond buying and dumping for years. They've helped to perpetuate via London and the direct connection from London to New York through the Fed, through various interests in the United States economy and companies to hollow out the US economy and further create that K-shaped economy that you're all bitching about. Well, guess what? When you become energy independent and you have a massive military that these other countries have been using as a stick against everyone else and to their benefit so that they can actually make a ton of money off of the back of us spending capital, expending our treasure and hollowing out our economy and shipping jobs overseas, and then not allow us to export, which further hollows out our economy and further gets rid of our manufacturing base and then starts to make us dependent on them. Well, when the tables are turned and the greatest military force in the world and the greatest economic force in the world starts to throw their weight around, you want to cry? Well, go ahead and cry about it. You didn't cry about China throwing their weight around. You didn't cry about Russia throwing their weight around. Meanwhile, you were still waving the Ukraine flag. How confused are you? You're backing Iran in a conflict where they're supported by Russia and China. Russia, you know how you have that Ukraine flag in your bio still? You dumbass. You know, these people are so stupid. They don't have any values whatsoever. And they don't understand strategy. They don't understand geopolitics. They don't understand a chart. You suck at charting, by the way, motherfucker. These people suck at what they do. And they get online, they act like they know what they're talking about, and it's all a bunch of bullshit. The real ones show through. I haven't missed a damn call since I've been on here. You want to know why? Because it's not because I'm some savant. It's because I know markets. I know geopolitics. I've worked in this industry for a long time. I've dealt with the military through the DOD for a very long time. None of these things are new to me. They're new to you, and you're just LARPing. All right, motherfuckers. This is really, I'm sorry, David. This kind of stuff pisses me off because
you gotta stop this puppet. Control yourself.
I'm sorry. Let me simmer down.
Puppet, do you understand? You got me off of TikTok today.
Yep.
Okay?
I'm trying to get you off X, but it's not working.
Well, I don't know what you're doing today. You know what he tells me today? Backstage, he's like, and I'm getting ready, right? I'm trying to look fresh to death and shit. I'm like, oh, yep. Am I looking good, right? By the way, shout out to everybody here joining in here right now. Tell everybody on TikTok to come over here. Okay, tell them to come over here. Tell them I'm over here because Landy decided to curse on TikTok. Okay, tell them to all come here because I'm laying the smack down today. Okay, I got a puppet on the screen fired up. Okay,
yeah. If you could see me,
and you know what he said? Hey, you know what? No wonder you try to sabotage me today, Landy. Okay.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
try to sabotage me. He landed in the back while he was eating his Skittles. He was with his old ass water that we have in the back. He said, "Hey man, I gotta go somewhere today, so I don't know how long I can stay." I should have known then. I should have known then you were going to try to sabotage me. If you're not going to be able to be on here, then I won't be able to be on here. So you're like, fuck that. Let me go ahead and take it to him. I see. I see. And I thought we were friends. I thought we had some sort of relationship. Not that kind of relationship, no
Yeah,
Diddy.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Hey, relax. I don't have a relationship with a puppet.
This is it. This is the better one. So there's a new theory, David Gokhshtein theory, is that the puppet is anonymous because he actually is the puppeteer that is puppeteering the Jewish guy on the screen, and that one is funny as hell. So I'm just gonna lean into that. Yep, it's exactly that. Yep, it's me. I'm pulling the strings behind the scenes. I
Yeah.
did want to shout out. I see Lutz. I see a lot of TikTokers in here. Lutz,
I know.
Cheddar,
Guys,
Fran.
let them know. Guys, go to your
What's up,
TikTok
AJ?
accounts. Let them know that Landy got me kicked off of my show today. So can you please let them all know that a goddamn puppet with a goddamn Bitcoin crown on his head got me kicked off today? Okay, Fran, it's his fault. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to all you guys that made your way here today. Because some of these ex people, they don't talk at all. They just lurk. They don't talk like us in the TikTok chat.
Okay, I'm dead.
I was actually going to. Honestly, today I was going to come. Oh, hold on. Let me rewind.
Pause. Rewind that.
What's happening with this episode today? This is, shout out to the sponsors: Midnight, Poly Market, Cake Wallet, The People's Reserve. Oh my lord! We'll be right back after this commercial break. Let's get this show back on track.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. All right, welcome back. I thought I was going to be taken off the air for saying something that's scientifically proven to work, and that is suntanning your balls. No, it was Landy who took us off the air. because he cursed. So
Oops.
thanks, Landy. I lost track of where the fuck we were going. Honestly, I
I
really
don't
did
know.
lose track. I sat here during the commercial break not knowing what the fuck was going on. I absolutely not know what the fuck is going on here today. But I appreciate we're not on TikTok today because of Landy. If all you guys can literally tell our entire group to come in here, I'd really appreciate it. Tell the community to come stop by. We're gonna be here. I'm not gonna reset the show and restart TikTok to get onto the live. I'm not doing that. But if you guys want to let the message go out there, I'd appreciate it. We are here. It is not the 700 episode of the breakdown. Okay, that will happen either tomorrow or on Thursday, or maybe Friday. We will have 700 is special. Okay, so I want it to be a special moment. I was going to come on here butt naked, wrapped in an American flag. That was what I was thinking. Wrap myself up in an American flag naked. What do you think about that idea, Landy?
I don't know how well that's going to go over on TikTok. Actually,
Okay, that's true because
I mean,
soft ass TikTok.
look, I
Soft
mean,
ass TikTok.
they're over there selling out gimbals, and I don't think they're searching for organically grown gimbals.
This shit does not work. I recommend nobody buy this shit, okay? Either it doesn't work or I don't know how to make it work, okay? And this is just weird in my hand right now. So let me just put that down. All right, cool. All right. So to end it on Trump, I think Trump has done a phenomenal, I got to sit back and give credit what credit is due. I didn't, we talked about the whole post situation. A lot of people got outraged where the picture kind of depicted him as Jesus and he's saving a life, even though he said he was a doctor. I'm actually glad that he took the picture down. So that shows that, you know what? His ego is not getting in the way. He's okay with, taking something down if his base and people do find it offensive. So I was proud of him in that moment because I didn't think he would take it down. He doesn't ever delete shit. He doesn't. He will keep it there. So much respect to him for doing that.
Yeah. I also think he was covering for a staffer because I don't think he actually even saw that before it went out. And, a lot of people have brought up the original post, and the original post is not
from Nick
Jesus.
Adams.
Yeah. And, but, when you look closely at it, it can easily be misconstrued as being Jesus, right? Because that kind of imagery, it can easily be misconstrued. And I do agree with you.
Bankless did it on their account today.
Yes, I know.
Bankless did it, and they had a bad reaction.
Yeah,
So
it's too close to even for Christians. And I knew that it was an issue when I actually had some family that was like, "Hey, this is not cool. Why is he doing this?" And I was like, "Well, the original post is not that they swapped him out. That's not supposed to be what it was."
this is we have to understand we are not living in the America that we grew up in. Okay, decades ago, this would be fine. Nobody would really. Everybody would be like, that.
No.
I understand what he's saying. He's healing America, right? That would be people would an IQ higher than room temperature would understand he's healing America. That's what the post is all about. That's what the meme is. Now we live in a very sensitive time. Everybody senses to everything. I probably agree with you. I don't think Trump actually put it out there. I'm thinking it's a staffer. And he has a staffer that, even though he posts himself as well, he has a staffer who, I've seen it obviously behind the scenes, that puts all that stuff out there for him. So
yeah, I mean, look, and I'm actually glad that he took it on himself, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is acting as a bit of a shield. And then also, look,
now they can't say Israel did it.
No, Israel made him take it down because Jews. Yeah.
I just wanted to just say, sitting back here, all bullshit aside, I know it's been all jokes. I know you guys tune in. You love the jokes. You love the banter. I get it, but I want to get serious real quick and just say I'm sitting back here, and do I agree with like 5% to 10% of the stuff that Trump does? I don't agree with it, but I agree with most of the things that he does do. And this is one thing that I sit back like this. I'm talking about everything that's gone on with Iran, with the Panama Canal, Venezuela. Like I look at this and I'm like, this shit is working. Like what he and it's difficult, right? It's difficult to do, but he's doing it. Like he is doing it and nobody's doing shit about it, right? Because the media has put it out there, projected out there that America would never do such a thing because they can't fight China. We're weak against China, we're weak against Russia. We better watch out. And here's Trump just doing these things. And like China and Russia ain't trying to Russia's too busy with Ukraine. And China can't do shit. And he's just showing you that they are paper tigers. Like he's out there saying, like, you guys have been talking them up for so long. What now, bitch? Like, that's the way, like, I feel like he's saying, like, what now? We're taking back our shit. Cuba, I think he wanted, by the way, I think he would have wanted Greenland earlier. But I think now, and with the way everything's moving, I think, Cuba and Greenland will be the last things that he acquires. Along with South America, where they'll probably make deals.
If they make a deal on Greenland, guess who stays in NATO? Guess who stays in NATO? If we make a deal with Greenland, we're going to end up seeing the U.S. stay in NATO.
There you go. And boom.
And what did China just do? Here's what every single liberal media outlet and liberal influencer is failing to tell you. China is now, they've announced that there's going to be, in no uncertain terms, no continued weapons or defense systems shipped to Iran. And they have announced that they've officially announced this now. It's not just that these Chinese ships are going, that we can verify are going to the UAE ports, but they have now said that they will be buying Saudi, Iraqi, and UAE oil instead of, which by the way is sanctioned oil, which means it's traded in what? Oh, that's right, the US dollar. So, and this is really, really interesting stuff, because if they did already previously have ships that were trapped in the strait, that had Iranian oil, all they have to do is get a sanction lift on that oil, meaning that they pay for that oil in some manner, and they can get around that as well. So they can even work a deal on any trapped oil and LNG if they want to. But instead, they are taking the route of, let's figure out what we're going to do with that later. And they were passing ships through for a little bit. And now they no longer can. And the only way they're going to be able to get through that strait. It's so hilarious to watch the time to narrative collapse, because the narrative started to get rolling of, oh my God, look at the blockade doesn't work. Trump failed. And then immediately to find out that they're sanctioned by the US and allowed to pass. Because look, this is what the mainstream media does, especially on the left, is they get to a narrative early to try and twist it so that you don't actually go and fact check later. You automatically go with, well, I already know that they're failing because China's ships are getting through. This only hurts the United States. And they don't hear the correction later. That's why these news organizations like the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, and all of the rest do this kind of crap, because they know that when they issue the correction later, no one's going to pay attention to it. And they've already shaped the narrative in certain people's minds. And those people are usually low IQ, non-information seeking people. So look, low IQ and no IQ, we got them on the fake right as well. And they're being
how do they look now? How do all those influencers who said, oh my God, I can't be aligned with this, how do they look right now? How do they look right now? They look stupid.
Stupid. They look
dumb. They exposed themselves.
They did.
They exposed themselves for who they were. Like I'm telling you, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, man, I can't believe well, I could believe Alex Jones, all
Yeah, you
these
can
people,
totally believe it with Alex Jones.
Kelly, all these exposed yourselves. You
Tucker.
really did. I can't believe people here, look, you don't have to like Trump. Nobody's telling you to like Trump. I'm telling you to love America. How about that? And I know people go to, these people will just twist anywhere. If you are an American, you don't have to love Trump, but you can recognize that we are winning and tip your cap and say, you know what? I don't agree with half his policies, but I'm gonna tip my cap to him. I see what's happening right now. China no longer has ownership of us. Like we are now supplying 121 ships that came to the Gulf of America. Guess where they were filling up their oil?
Oh,
What happens
breaking
as that
news.
continues? The economy booms.
Yes. Hey, there's
More job creation, more every. You have to tip your cap and say, you know what? I don't like Orange Man, but he's making America great again. Really, he's making America great again. And if I hear somebody bring up the Epstein files one more time, you need to call your local politicians. He signed off on it already. A long time ago, he signed off on it already. That's it. Stop. Trump. Done. He can't do anything if you got the House and the Senate. It's up to you. Call them. Call them up since you're so. Oh my God, I need to know. Call them up.
I'm curious. When are you going to have Charles on again?
All right. So the next part of this month, we will have. See, I wanted to start this in May, right? Where we bring on all, whether it's Sailor or whoever. Like I just bring Charles on. I needed to get this out of my system. Do you? I hope you guys understand this. For 2 hours, for 1 month, I needed to get this out of my system. Even for 2 months, just to get. I wanted to just touch on certain topics. That's it. And I don't get to do that when I bring on all these guests. I really don't. I love all the people that have come onto the show, but I don't get to just really rip off. And I needed this time. I needed this time to heal, as I would say. I needed this time to heal. And then we get back to the breakdown, which brings on notable people. Okay. All your favorite characters will come on here and we will talk, and I will ask them questions and I will sit back and allow them to talk, unlike other shows. Have you watched other shows? People come on there, they're trying to articulate their point of view and they're not allowed to. Well, I just ask questions and sit back because I want to learn as much as you guys do. Yes, this is my therapy. 100%. 100% my therapy.
And there's often times where you, or I know that you fundamentally disagree with what they're saying, but you allow them to get their point out there for what it is that they want to talk about. You give them the space to talk about it. And that is a good thing, because listening to people that you disagree with can help really expand and allow for you to articulate better what you may disagree with or agree with those people in the future, and
Well,
helps
Andy,
to really have you learn.
I'll tell you like this. Like I'll name a few things. When Sailor was on here, right? I sat back and I listened. I gave him questions, but I listened to Sailor lay out, answers, and I'm listening to him. He came out of nowhere and he talked about AI and how he used AI to create his other products. Well, guess what? 2 ears, one mouth. As I'm hosting the show, I'm also listening to it and I'm taking notes like, shit, Sailor created products for his company. I could do the same thing for my company.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that's why, like, even if you said something, and we've talked about this, even if I don't agree with somebody, I don't want to, unless I have to, I don't want to cut in, because then I want the audience and the people that are tuning in to see the person for who they are, right? And not in a bad way. I'm not trying to set anybody up, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
want them to express their real beliefs. I might disagree, but I want to then look into it, and then I'll talk about it the next day.
And
That's really how I work it. I don't want
well,
to stop somebody in mid sentence and say, while they're trying to give their thoughts off, stop them in mid. No, that's not how an interview or I don't even call it an interview. That's not how a conversation should play out. You shouldn't be the only voice that's heard. Go ahead, Landy.
well, in the past 10 to 15 years, what we have seen, especially in the Trump years, right? What we have seen is whether it's podcasters or independent media or the media themselves, what they do when they bring on guests is try to shape the narrative that and try to shape what's coming out of the guest's mouth by and their ideas via asking questions in a very specific ways in order to try to box them in or to reinterpret what it is that they've just said for the audience, because this is a very powerful psychological technique to try and shape the narrative in the direction that you want to shape it. In this case, the mainstream media and even independent media has been largely left leaning. There is the rise of the right, but it was all manufactured and fake, the fake right. There's the real right, and then there's the fake right. And the fake right's been being called out for years, finally revealing themselves in the past couple of months. And it really started last year, and in the beginning of Trump's second term. And the when you sit back and you allow somebody to actually articulate, and then you ask follow-up questions that further allow them to articulate where they stand, whether you agree or disagree, at least you know where they stand without interjecting on their behalf to try and shape the narrative. And that is the biggest problem, and we've seen this happen with Saylor a lot. And I think that's why a lot of people enjoyed that interview with Saylor, because you allowed him to just go, like just riff, like just explain what it is that he is doing and why he's doing it, how he arrived to these conclusions, what his ideas are about the industry, about Bitcoin, about traditional finance, about AI. And it was such a good thing to do, is to allow him to actually express himself without you interjecting your own opinion into it to try and shape a narrative. And we've seen where many have tried to shape that narrative and it fell on them pretty badly.
I seen
It
it.
didn't go well.
I
The
think,
interview didn't go.
a lot of people tell me that they have fun on the program, that they feel comfortable when they come on. They don't feel like it's a, you know,
Gotcha.
like, gotcha, like the gotcha moments are waiting. Like I don't. I feel like, if what, for me personally, like if I don't do a lot of podcast. People request for me to come on podcasts and I decline them. Maybe I should go on them, but I just feel like every single time I've gone on to podcasts or even mainstream media, right? They just have things framed in the I got you moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a conversation. Like, even when Peter Schiff came on here, and I wasn't waiting to say I got you on something. No, I wanted to have why. Listen, my whole goal with Peter Schiff was like, why can't we have, why can't we hold both gold and Bitcoin? Like, what's the problem? Like, that was really the conversation. It wasn't like, oh, you're such a bad man. He even said it himself. He's like, I expected you to no, I'm not gonna bash you. For what? Like, you're entitled to your opinion. You don't have to like Bitcoin. You don't have to understand Bitcoin. That's fine.
Yeah.
Even though I think, he's smart enough to understand Bitcoin, I feel like honestly in my heart he has Bitcoin. Maybe not a lot, but he has Bitcoin. Maybe like,
Well, he
I,
hasn't moved that Bitcoin that he's been taking for gold. Trade your Bitcoin for gold. They still
that's
have
what I'm.
that, by the way. And
I
his son's
told
a
him, I'm like, you
Bitcoiner.
accept Bitcoin on your site. Like, I'm sure he has Bitcoin, but I
Yeah.
think, like, listen, he's a gold maxi, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if he loves gold,
And he's got a product to sell, more importantly. And look,
correct?
I actually I've always obviously, as a Bitcoiner myself, always made fun of Peter. But it's always been in a lighthearted manner. And something follow up, you and I talked about your conversation with him, and I was like, do you really think that he believes what he believes? And you're like, yes. Like, after that conversation, I think that he is, even though he might hold it even though he might have people giving him Bitcoin for gold or whatever it might be, or his son holds it. I think he really is stuck to his guns. He really does believe this. And I think that that's important to understand is it's okay. Like, and the funny part to me was when he was talking about tokenizing gold, I'm like, nah, we already got that. It's called
Exactly.
Bitcoin, brother. Like,
No, but like think
you
about
know,
what think about this with Peter
you let him
Schiff, right?
talk.
You guys, people, they bring him onto the show, right? Or they bring him onto Spaces. They bring him onto a show. The man is just like, I am a gold maxi. You guys are trying to convince him to sell his gold. I
Yeah.
have gold. What? I should sell it too? Like, no, you can hold multiple assets. Well, like, what's next? Bitcoin only, so I can't own real estate? Like, we need to like really grow up here and say it's okay to hold multiple assets. Like, that's really it. Now, if you want to go debate him on when he says like whether Bitcoin's going to zero and all, that's, you can go ahead and debate him, but you have to also understand why. I do believe Peter actually believes what he's saying. Is a little
Yeah.
bit of it for engagement purposes? Yeah, like he has products to sell. He's visible because of his stance on Bitcoin. So I'm not stupid on that, but
Yeah.
I firmly believe he believes a lot of the stuff that he says about Bitcoin. When I asked him if he could have bought it
agree.
earlier, for instance, like he would have took it on earlier. And he says he'll even accept, give him Bitcoin, he'll accept it. He'll sell it, but he'll accept it. My
Mhm.
whole thing is that some cats you just won't reprogram these people. That's it. They're old dogs that can't learn new tricks. And it's cool. He's a gold guy. Let it be. Let it fucking be. Like when I hear you guys trying to force it on people, it's crazy. It's and then you like, and when when Peter Schiff made that comment, Landy, it gave me a different perspective, or at least confirmed my perspective on this space. So remember when he says, I'm used to coming on to shows and they're belittling me.
And attacking. Yeah, he's ready for war all the time.
But think about what he said. Like, I come onto shows and they're consistently belittling me. That's weird. How are you going? You did the same thing to Mark Cuban when he came onto space. Mark Cuban came onto a Bitcoin space. By the
Yep.
way, I'm not bashing Bitcoin. I'm bashing some of the people that surround it, but they don't make up the majority that are around it.
No, they're just the loudest, most
Correct.
annoying damn voices, to be honest.
When you have a Mark Cuban at that time and he comes into your space and he sits down and he wants to have a conversation, you're trying to explain to him why Bitcoin. Instead, you guys were getting on him because he has Dogecoin. It's the same attack method you guys used on Elon when he was on Spaces with Kathy Wood. When he was talking to Kathy Wood on Spaces, and somebody snuck in and said, well, why aren't you, and went right into Bitcoin. And you had Elon push back on you. You guys aren't trying to have a conversation. You
His
guys are
company still
forcing
holds
things on
Bitcoin,
people
dude.
and not explaining them.
It- and I think that it's going to be interesting too, because when X payments rolls out and they eventually incorporate cryptocurrencies, Dogecoin is going to be there, but so is Bitcoin and ETH, right? Like this is, I think that the groundwork, as I've said, is being laid, and I found that weird too in that space because I was in there as well listening to that, and it's like he already holds Bitcoin and he sold it for a reason. Like he sold that portion for a reason, and they kept the rest. Like if you are going to shell shame somebody, but in the same breath say that Bitcoin is money, and then berate people for actually utilizing Bitcoin and for its intended purposes, then it becomes, oh no, he's dumping, he's a sellout, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Like
Landy,
that.
it's the same thing when I had Grant Cardone on here, right?
Yeah.
Whether you like Grant Cardone or not, I grew up watching Grant Cardone sell product after product after product. Okay.
Yeah.
This man can sell. I don't care what you think about him. This man is organized. He knows how to sell. He has the right people around him. Okay. I remember speaking to Grant before he came onto the show, and it was like a few years before he came on to the breakdown a couple of months ago. And he said, I'm not getting into Bitcoin. This ain't for me. Bitcoin ain't for me. You guys, you know why? Because you couldn't explain it to him.
Yeah.
Then when he came on to the show, he's telling you it's a 180. It's like, I'm buying Bitcoin and I'm hedging it against my real estate. Like he's explaining why he's getting Bitcoin and the reasons why he's getting Bitcoin. With it, like it made perfect sense. And he explained to you why he didn't get into Bitcoin earlier.
Yes. And you know what's funny about that? When he started to do that, David, the same Bitcoiners that will happily have them join their spaces and have him up on stage, and are thrilled when him and Gary come through, and immediately throw them microphones and like all that kind of stuff. Those are the same people that when he first got in it were criticizing him for the way he was using it. Because in many of these types of personalities in the Bitcoin space, the Bitcoin maxis, they don't even adhere to their own maximalism, because they preach that Bitcoin is money, and then in the same breath tell you not to utilize it as money. And then they want you to hodl, and not take profits, and then also not use it as an asset, use it as money. And it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to use it as money, I'm going to trade it like it's a currency then, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I'm going to trade the pairs. Oh, no, they're trading Bitcoin. You should avoid them. I get that all the time because I trade. And it's funny because I probably am one of for most of them, I'm probably a longer term hodler than they are. And yet they will berate me because they see that I do technical analysis and I trade and I talk about where to buy and where to sell and what the zones are like and what areas to pay attention to and that kind of stuff. So they immediately poo-poo it. And then they talk about the same people like Grant and others. They get excited when they're buying, and then when they see how they're utilizing it, they hate them. And then as soon as they start having success, then and they're poking around in spaces or in events, and then all of a sudden they want to be best friends with them. And
Yeah.
it is just so disingenuous. It's like, have a set of values. They're literally the fake right and woke left of the cryptocurrency world, all wrapped into Bitcoin maximalism that they don't even adhere to. Because if they're talking about price never goes below this, it's going to go to this. You want to know what they're really talking about? They're telling you at some point they have a price in which they're going to sell, which means they don't even know how to utilize Bitcoin.
Correct.
They haven't been around long enough to even do paper DeFi contracts. Paper lending has been around for Bitcoin for a very long time. You get private loans for it. There was entire
Like,
groups set up for that.
because like you have a bunch of let's call it for what it is. You have a bunch of people that tripped into Bitcoin. And what I mean by that is
Yeah.
like, listen, I don't call anybody lucky. You
No.
make your own luck. Like I've always said that. You make your own
Yeah.
luck. You don't get God doesn't have favorites, okay? Like I'm sorry. He doesn't say, "Oh, Landy deserves this, but David doesn't." Like no, like that's not how it works. I don't believe that's how it works. Okay? You don't get lucky. You put yourself in that position. Cool.
Yep.
But a
Winning
lot
or
of them
losing.
don't know finance. A lot of them don't know how to work Bitcoin at all. They're holding it, great, but they don't know how to work it. They
No.
don't. Like Grant Cardone knows how to make more Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
Like he knows how to make more Bitcoin. There are people that know how to make more Bitcoin. Sailor's gonna make more Bitcoin. Like they know how to do this. For all the people that get, this is you can go back and forth and debate whether or not it's good for one entity to hold so much Bitcoin. Go for
I
it.
think it's a valid conversation. Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
But you have the same opportunity. I said this yesterday. You have the same opportunity to buy like he does. I'm not saying in the quantity. I'm just saying you had what? You couldn't. Let's rewind. You didn't have any conviction in Bitcoin. You could have bought up a good amount of Bitcoin in 2016, 17.
Yeah.
Easily. You could have had a lot. You could have had just as much. I don't want to say that, but you could have had a lot. You chose not to believe in an asset. Now I'm going to get hit with, well, Saylor didn't believe in it either because he put out a tweet. Okay, that's great. People change their minds. And he's putting where his money where his mouth is. He's going after it. Now people say, well, now it's a little bit centralized. Listen, you can buy just like Saylor. You might not have $1 billion to buy Bitcoin in one shot, but I'm saying you can buy Bitcoin just like Saylor does.
For
That's all
those
I'm
that
saying.
complain about the centralization of the holdings, are first of all, a lot of these people have no idea how the network even works. They have no idea how they don't understand the history of mining operations. They don't understand the history of OTC. They don't even know how
Do they even
they
have a
don't even
node
understand
running?
how OTC works. No, most of them have never run a node in their lives. And it's very simple. You can do it right from a laptop. You can run a node. Anybody can run a full node or a pruned node. And this is the funny part about it is they know so little about how Bitcoin actually works. They don't know that like I've had these conversations with people. I'm like, do you understand that more than 50% of Bitcoin is held by OGs? And we're not even counting the lost and stolen and all that kind of
I
stuff
think it's
that's
more than that,
stagnant.
Landy. I actually think it's more than
It's
that.
more like 60 to 65% is held by OGs in terms of total supply that is circulating, right? And they don't understand how like when they direct their anger at things, they don't even direct their anger at the correct things. Like these are the same people that will tell you to go to Coinbase to buy your Bitcoin at an absolute premium with all kinds of fees. They don't even understand the attack that Brian Armstrong set up on Bitcoin when it came to BSV. Like they try to paint it as something completely different, and they don't understand really what the ethos is, how miners operate and why they operate in the way that they do, and they always have to have an enemy. And I get it,
Always.
it makes for good content, it really does. But the fact of the matter is, if you really believe in sovereignty and freedom, then why are you bitching? Why are you
I
bitching when
stopped
somebody sells?
I stopped into Bitcoin space last night as I was working.
Oh,
I was
I'm
working.
sorry.
I worked out. I stopped. By the way, I recommend for anybody who, well, you guys don't work out, but anybody who does work out, one day a week, use lighter weights instead of heavy weights and do a little bit more reps. Oh my fucking God. I woke up today and like my arms weren't moving.
The only
Um,
Bitcoin spaces I go to are the ones that Cade runs with the Wolf Crew over there.
I
That's
got to
it.
stop by one of those wolf spaces, but I go into, I won't say the name, I guess then. I go into one of
I
these
know which one
spaces.
it was. I was lurking as well.
Okay, so I went in there and I'm listening, and I'm on the treadmill at this point, listening because I've already finished out like my lifting, whatever. I go on the treadmill, I'm listening. I'm like, wow. And I brought this into after I'm done, on the treadmill. I brought that in to my office as I'm working, and I'm still listening. I'm like, what is this? Like exactly what I said after like I think 34 minutes. I said, what the fuck is this? Like if I just came into Bitcoin, or if I just came into like wanting to know more about Bitcoin, I've learned nothing. A lot of them are talking about the Genius Act, which was passed, and talking about like it's not passed. Did you hear that part or no?
Yes. Yeah. I
They
I just
corrected it,
don't.
but I'm just saying, like, it was like they don't even know what bills are not like. What are we talking about here? And then you want to
That's
call everything a shitcoin. I'm gonna tell you something right now. There are more people that are not in Bitcoin that are in altcoins and are memes, and you want everybody to be a Bitcoiner, but you push people away. Nobody's gonna buy Bitcoin when you say go fuck yourself.
yeah.
I'm being Landy. I know, like me and you have touched on it. If you told me to go fuck myself, right?
Yeah. It's
I'm
not a
not
good way
buying
to
Bitcoin.
ingratiate yourself to somebody and try to sell them on the thing that you are so into. And
It's
look,
like
it
explain it.
sucks.
Explain it. You guys, I'm not talking about you or like when you go on spaces with the Wolf Gang. Like I'm not talking about like how you guys put everything together, like professionals. I'm just saying there are people that are in Bitcoin that are unprofessional.
Yeah.
with the way that they explain Bitcoin. And a lot of people come to X to learn about Bitcoin. Because if you
Yeah.
go anywhere else, you can't really, like, I'm on TikTok. Respect to TikTok. TikTok, huge following on TikTok. They're great, but they talk about, respectfully, they talk about XRP, which isn't bad. Okay, that's your token, you love it, and they talk about the alts and Hedera and everything. Like, great. Algorand, they talk. I hear people trying to explain Bitcoin. They're off on TikTok, at least. They don't really have that understanding. Twitter has that understanding because everybody was on Twitter, and you have people that have learned from others that talk about Bitcoin consistently. But then you end up in that fucking room, and nobody, and I mean nobody, is trying to explain the asset to you. Like, you
Nope.
end up in the wrong Bitcoin room, and you're going. I'm telling you, you have people that won't get into Bitcoin. Imagine Bitcoin's at 60,000. You end up in one of these rooms. You don't go in because they're absolutely trashing you. Now you end up in the right room. Let's say they go into one of your spaces where you're attending or you're speaking on a stage with the Wolfgang. You guys are breaking it down. Now this person's like, oh shit, now I get it. I wish somebody would have explained it to me. They're buying it at 74. Do you understand what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like people, it's already hard for people to grasp crypto and Bitcoin. You shouldn't make it even more difficult to embrace the population and bring them in. That's what the OGs did. They went out there, grassroots market. There was no app. They went out there and grassroots market. What did Charlie Shrem, Peter, Roger Ver, all of them stood by PayPal with signs, buy Bitcoin or accept Bitcoin. Like, this is what the OGs did. They were giving out Bitcoin.
Yeah, and a
Even
lot of
Max
people
Kaiser,
don't
as much
remember.
as I can say things about Max Kaiser, the one thing that he did do is give out Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, so one of the things that I know for a fact is, and yes, shout out ATC crew. For those that are asking, like, what are you guys talking about with some of these spaces events? Well, some of the space, I only attend 2 spaces events. It's with my buddy Cade over at Wolf, and then ATC with my buddy Dave. Obviously, David lurks around too, on occasion when he wants to get really frustrated while he's working out. But now, like, one of the things that I think is really important to understand is that there are Bitcoiners who have been around for a long time and saw guys like Roger Ver then turn on Bitcoin and attack the network and
I
make a
get it.
bunch of money for himself,
Yeah.
and many others. Like, and look, I've not always been on friendly terms in terms of dealings with or even conversations with Mr. Kaiser, but you cannot deny that he has helped push Bitcoin into prominence in very specific areas of even the world, like nation state leaders adopting Bitcoin because they've had a connection to Kaiser. And I think that that's a good thing for Bitcoin. And then it's like, well, we don't want the nation states. Who do you, is this an open, free, sovereign monetary system or not? Like, what do you want out of this? And it just doesn't make sense to me that even those who are now crying about institutions getting in, look, it did not occur in the way that I wanted. Choke point 1.0, 2.0, now 3.0 fully in effect, even though it's not coming from the administration itself in terms of the 3.0. When you have institutions coming in, like, are they not allowed to buy Bitcoin like everybody else? They've got bigger bags and they can utilize people and credit and all that
It's the
kind of stuff to
same
do the
way
same
that
thing.
when they talk about Landy, when they talk about Trump, right?
Mhm.
When they talk about Trump and his organization buying Bitcoin or creating their own project, like, hold
Or
on. Are we
Ethereum or Solana.
decentralized or are we centralized? Which one do we want to go with? And I can understand the argument. Should the president be allowed to create projects while he's in office? We can debate that 100%. But if you think that Trump wouldn't be successful within crypto if he wasn't president, you've lost.
Yeah.
If Trump comes out with something, people are going to go into it. Like,
And
if
the
Obama
family
came out with
started
something,
exploring
maybe
crypto.
people will go into it.
Probably.
It
And but then you have even the same it gets into the weird conspiracy territory with cryptocurrencies as well, because then you have the same people who purport to be maxis of a specific coin will then in the same breath like tell you like, oh well, it was all, you know, it's all a psyop, and it's actually the agent, the three-letter agencies that created all of this
Yeah,
so
I
they could
hear that all the
monitor
time.
us. And it's like,
Who had the technology at the time to go ahead and create this?
yeah, and it's like, okay, like, and then everybody's bought off, everybody's paid off. It's all a big giant conspiracy theory to keep us trapped in a box. And it's like, look, you can tell that these people have not actually done anything with their lives or seen outside of their bedroom in a very long time. If they did, at one point have some sort of, you know, maybe they traveled, maybe they were in finance, maybe something else, right? They clearly have not been outside of their four walls in quite a long time,
Yeah.
because the world is ever changing. There are systems and establishments that are deeply entrenched, yes, and part of what the choke point operations were was to deny access to these systems, because you can end around the traditional systems. That's the whole point. That's why choke point and choke point 2.0 were created, was to aggregate and then repackage and resell this stuff to retail and deny access directly to these things. Which is why, like, look, I'm not a fan of people going in, if you understand you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth, whatever your favorite coin is, if you understand how it works, why would you go buy a wrapped product and pay fees for something that is acting as a volatility vector and not actually holding the underlying asset? It's the same thing for gold. If you're a gold maxi, why are you not actually buying gold coins, gold bars, so on and so forth, and instead outsourcing that to, you know, the paper based products? Buy the underlying asset if you believe in it. If you don't, then don't paint yourself as a maximalist in any of these categories, and then turn around, try to be a maximalist, but then also tell everybody that in the same breath it's all the fix is in. Like, it doesn't, you deny and you undercut your own ethos that you claim to be about. Like, I like technology. I'm very involved in the tech sector and security sector. And when it comes to blockchain and then cryptocurrencies being born out of those blockchains, I'm all for it, right? And then when you get to something like Bitcoin and the ethos behind it, and the mechanics of the network, and how the issuance is, how it's actually backed by the electricity going into the network for proof of work, the hash rate, and how all of it works, I'm into that. And I am a Bitcoin first little puppet, but I'm also in all of the other cryptocurrencies as well, because I like to be at the bleeding edge of technology as it's developed. That's also why I got involved in AI, and I try to learn as much as I possibly can about it. And I think that many of the publicly prominent voices are such a especially the toxic ones are such a small minority, but they've gained such a cult following that they have been in the driver's seat of the narrative for a very long time. And I almost welcome, and I hate saying this, I almost welcome the institutions coming in and being the driver's seat for a little while, because at least the narrative will make it out to mainstream.
Well,
Because
you need
somebody hears about Bitcoin and they buy the ETF, and then they go, "Hey, wait, I can just go buy Bitcoin? Oh, I don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. I could just buy Satoshis. I can buy fractions of a Bit. Let me go and actually pick some up for my wallet." I've had more success talking to people about Sailors products and even the big bad boys, right? Even the spot ETFs. And like, hey, you understand that they're into this now, and you can also go get it for yourself as well. Here's how you can get a hardware wallet. Here's how you can start if you just want to go to an exchange and buy some for yourself to hold the underlying. I've had more successful conversations since the launch of the ETFs, since the sailors of the world have come about and gotten involved. I've had more success in converting people into holding and self-custodying their own Bitcoin while simultaneously holding some of these assets than ever before, because they're getting the narrative out there on mainstream media. So it's actually, I've been able to convert people into being hodlers and self-custody hodlers at that, which I think is, you can utilize the narrative. It cuts both ways. Just telling people that they're bad people for buying these products is not the way that you do it, I guess is my point.
I will say that I'm not a fan of institutions. You know this. I don't know, like I've stated it to the audience multiple times that I wasn't the one championing for every single institution to come in, but then you got to sit back and say that this is a decentralized market and anybody can come in here and participate. And that's it. Like my whole thing was, you had plenty of time to front run all these big time players. Like if you bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these really good assets, if you held them, you have nothing to worry about, right? Like you're good. But I think a lot of people sat back and like, I don't know. I think a lot of people really, I think a lot of people in our space lost out on millions of dollars because they didn't take it seriously in terms of institutions coming in. I didn't think, I didn't think they took it seriously. So, all right. Welcome to Tuesdays Live. Sorry, just
it's all good. Yeah, I was just
I was thinking
communicating
myself,
something
I
to
was
the
like,
in the
how do I
background.
cut him off because he might need to? So I was just like,
No, I don't know if you heard that I have I'm a secure location within my own where there is the beeping as there was some beeping going on in the background as she was making her way into my office area to tap me on the shoulder and go like, I knew you. So essentially what I said to David in the background was, earlier David alluded to me pulling one over on him and then getting him kicked off TikTok. Well, I had said to him before the show started, I was like, hey, I've got to go in a little bit to go and pick up kiddos, daddy duty, right? And he was like, oh yeah, no worries. I'll essentially let me riff. And well, once I got started, obviously I didn't stop. And my wife knew this. She planned for this because she could hear this area was, getting a little loud. So she said, so good to go? And I said, yes. And then she came into the room and said, nah, I know better.
welcome to the break. Excuse me. Welcome to Tuesday's show. Yes, this is not the breakdown.
Money in politics.
Money in politics.
What the hell just happened there? Wait. All right. So for those that might be new here, the water bottle situation with David. This is a callback. There was once upon a time, David had a little bit wider view of his desk, and he just sits there and he's chugging water, right? Because he's like, I'm fasting and I'm working out and I need to stay hydrated. And like, this dude had he would hold them up. He'd count them like 6 to 7 different water bottles. And these are giant. I don't know how he is not just racing to the bathroom every 5 seconds. In fact, that's why there are so many sponsors, and that's why he has to do the ad runs in the show, because he's got to run to the bathroom because he's drinking so much damn water.
Speaking of ads, we'll be right back after this.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The the next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Well, the puppet disappeared. He said that he lost his connection. We're back on not an episode, not on the breakdown. This is the Tuesday live show. Okay, the breakdown will be back tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday. I don't know. It's episode 700. Like I said, I want to put on the American flag naked. That's right. Wrap myself up in the American flag naked. There's a lot of people on social media. It's funny. I'm reading some of these comments on social media. They're like, are you paid? Because I'm talking about Trump and Trump winning. Are you paid by Trump? No. But if he is paying, let me know where I can send my invoice because I'll send it there. Are you paid? Just because I don't agree with your fucking opinion doesn't mean that I'm paid. Do I say the same thing to you guys? Like when you guys offer a different opinion, do I say, are you paid? Are you paid for your opinion? I don't say that. This show is sponsored by Midnight. Midnight is the title sponsor of the breakdown. So shout out to Midnight. Shout out to Charles. Somebody said, when are you bringing Charles on? Charles is like all over the world. Charles is a rock star, okay? Give me some time. I'll bring him on this month. Yeah, I'm reading Landy's messages, okay? By the way, Polymarket, the official sponsor, excuse me, let me rewind. Polymarket, the official prediction market sponsor of the breakdown and the DG brand. You love the flow. I know you like my style. How much do you like my style? Now watch me go break it down. I know that you like my style. Cake Wallet is also a sponsor of this show. Cake Wallet, one of the most secure hot wallets in our space. Check it out at cakewallet.com. Also check out CakePay as well. People's Reserve. Shout out to People's Reserve. Shout out to CJ and that entire team. Good people. Good people. A lot of good people. He made a lot of good people in this space, by the way. Damn, my eyes are so green. My eyes are going to be hella green this summer, though. Summertime comes, my eyes are like green. The green-eyed bandit can't stand it. I'm just looking at myself. Fuck that. For the next few minutes, I'm just going to stare at myself. Why not? Why not? Why not? Me and Landy, obviously, I don't know what happened to Landy, but me and Landy obviously talked about the situation with how Trump has done a marvelous job with psyoping everybody. And really, it's coming down to he is on track to completing the mission that he has put out there since the campaign. And that is take back what has been ours. And that is control and power. Control and power. That's right. If you're an American, you're excited. Like, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican. Like, if you are an American, you are excited about what is happening. The economy will boom. If this works, which it will work, because we've seen tankers come here to fill up already, the economy booms. That means more jobs. Means more jobs. Means a thriving economy. We want that. We want that. Yes, you do want that. As for crypto, 2 green days in a row, but good green days. The Green Eye Bandit can't stand it. Y'all already know. I should put on the song, but then I'll probably get taken down on YouTube, which happened to me when I said I never. It was funny that time when I said I never got a warning on YouTube, and then I played that music. They took down the goddamn show. The Green Eye Bandit can't. Yeah, like I got green eyes. If like you can really see my eyes, they are fucking green. They are green. I got white teeth. I got green eyes. I got my real black hair. I work out. What's that song from LF? What is it? LFMO? Whatever. I work out. Like, oh, that sounded sus. No, dude, that sounded sus. That sounded sus. Could you believe at one point in my life when I played hockey, I had a hockey stick stuck in this eye right here? I literally had a hockey blade stuck right in there. And I'm gushing blood and I'm like, let me back in. I don't care if my meat's all out here. Relax, relax. I'm talking about the meat coming out my eye. Wow, none of this sounds good right now. None of it. And none of it sounds good right now. But that did happen. Oh my goodness. What the fuck? I think that's what, like my eyebrows, by the way, I've always raised them as a kid. But I think this one is a little bit more up because of the damage that I got when I got hit in this with the stick in my eye. Thank God it didn't take out my eye, but right here, it's like a fucking scar. But you can't see it because it's right under this beautiful eyebrow, right? So you can't really see it unless you come close. Oh my God, what is happening, bro? Yo, pause, homies. Oh my God, they're gonna take my card away oh my God, they're gonna take my card away from bro. Pause, real pause right there. Oh no, and then this eye socket is fucked. It got cracked. Hold on. Yeah, no, it's still this one too. This one got cracked, so like there's a fucking chip. It's healed, but there's like if you felt my eye, there's like a fucking chip there. Man, love hockey though. Gotta love hockey. Gotta love hockey. Holy shit, man. I remember that. Oh my God. So I think that's why you know what? I think that's why my left eyebrow might, like I'm thinking about it. It might be raised up just slightly because of that blade and stuff like that. What makes me unique? If you don't got scars, okay, if you don't got any scars on you, that tells me everything I need to know about you, okay? You're a soft ass son of a bitch. You're a soft ass motherfucker. That's right. That's right. All right. This eye, you know what's fucked up? This eye really suffered a lot. I was around 9-10 years old. I was walking in the playground. They were playing baseball. The older kids were playing baseball, and we're playing Manhunt. Has anybody ever played Manhunt? If you ever played Manhunt, illest game of all time, right? And I'm playing Manhunt, and I was fast. I'm still fast, but I was fast. Like, vroom. F1 Formula, vroom. Sonic the Hedgehog, vroom. As I'm running, somebody yells my name, and they're playing baseball. And somebody throws a baseball. And here I'm running, and somebody says my name. I turn and pop right in the eye, man. Right here. Boom. The scariest part is, like, I got up. I'm probably concussed too, and I don't even know it. Back then, your parents didn't rush you to the fucking hospital, okay? They just spray some Windex on you and said, "Oh, go away." But no, like, I get up and I'm like, I can't see. Like, out this eye, I was like, I cannot see anything. They take me home. This is when my dad was still around. And I'm like, I'm holding it together. I wasn't a crybaby. Okay, like a lot of you motherfuckers. I wasn't a crybaby. I was taught to be a man at a very young age. And I'm like, Dad, I can't see. Like, it is so foggy. Like, I can't see. My dad, I swear on everything, okay? This is what my dad does. I don't have any. Well, let's see. My dad says, "Here are my glasses, put them on." I put on the glasses. I'm like, okay, I can see a little bit better. He goes, "Go to sleep. I promise you, when you wake up in the morning, everything will be okay." Going to bed, I can't see out the eye. I fall asleep. I wake up in the morning, I can see. Hallelujah. It was something, it's something about your parents, man. Like, if you had really good parents, it's that calming presence. Like, everything's gonna be fine. And you wake up, fuck, I can see out my eye. It's not blurry anymore. I go to the doctor, they say I popped a fucking vessel in my eye. It should repair itself. And it did. Man, I gotta tell you, I was into extreme sports. Like, for those who know me, who tune in but don't comment, those who know me in real life, they know I'm a fanatic when it comes to extreme sports. I used to climb band shelters. Like, bro, this is why, like, I can't relate with this generation. I cannot relate with you guys. I cannot. I fell off of a guy. You know what I fell off of? I was in the park and I fell off this big ass, I don't even know what it was, like a big ass cabin. I made it all the way to the top. And my friend came out of nowhere and, like, said, "Boo." And my ass, like, I remember just falling backwards. And this shit felt like 9 years. Shit felt like 9 years of falling. Yeah, I was definitely into, like, parkour, 100%. I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids that would just climb everything, jump over shit, hold on to cars with my roller skates. I was wild, man. I was a wild kid, man. Wow. Welcome to the show. It is 2:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say thank you to Landy. Thank you, Landy, for fucking up my TikTok show today. I appreciate it. I want to thank all the TikTok people that made it across the way from TikTok. Some of you guys came over. Some of you guys came over to watch this show on X, so thank you very much. And those on YouTube, I see you came over here to watch. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We will be. I'm not suspended because it didn't come up with any warnings or any messages. Like, I'm looking right now. Let's see. I don't have anything that says that, like. Nope. Says everything's. I can go live. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not suspended from live either. Nothing. Could have been a system issue. Could have been a system issue. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I really do. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to me every single day. Tuning in to me, tuning in the more like the early parts of this stuff. Yeah, I don't know, Landy. I don't know how X works with the chat system, but there are people that say that they can't chat, and maybe that's my fault because maybe I still have people restricted. Guys, go to anybody who streams, go to live studio, and you'll see you can restrict your live streams to where only your followers can interact with you. I need to do everyone. I think I still have it on that. But honestly, from one standpoint, I don't really care because I am so into TikTok now. The audience is a lot more conversational. So what else? That's really it. I think you guys who are in crypto should be absolutely excited. 2 days of green. 2 days of fucking green. It is and it's not just little green, it's big green. And that's just to showcase Trump, if he nails this all down, if Trump nails this all down, which I believe he will, we will see the resurgence of our industry. The crypto industry will go absolutely parabolic. There is money waiting on the sidelines right now. It wants to come in here, but it's waiting. It is waiting for all this to end. So just be patient. We have a new chair coming in. Rate cuts will be done. What that means, I don't know. They might print more money. There might be stimmies. I don't know. I'm against the stimmies. But there might be more stimmies. Might be more printing. But the economy, I feel like it will go boom. No, I can't go live on Restream. I tried. It won't. I'll tell you right now. I'll look right now. It's sending data, but I can do it. Hold on, let's see. Unable to connect. Offline. Nope. Can't do it. That sucks. Anyway, it's okay. We'll be back. Yeah, but I don't want to do it on mobile because I got the whole setup. It looks good, right? Like it got my setup. But I want to say thank you for everybody who tuned in. We'll be back tomorrow. I have certain things that we're working on to celebrate episode 700. Hopefully it all comes together. I hope it all comes together. Yo, you wrote me notes in here. Yeah, fuck that. This shit is broken. I got a defaulted product, man. Like this is a faulty product here, man. Like look at this. What is this shit, man? This is so fucked up. Honestly, I gotta tell you, this is. By the way, I'm an idiot. I am 100% an idiot. So I put my drone in the office. I'm linking up. I'm putting the drone together. I'm putting the connections together. I decide to be smart here, and I push the go button, and the drone takes off in the office. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking going to destroy everything here, and it is like everything's like flying around the office now, like this, everything imaginable, and I'm like praying to God, please, how do I fucking turn this shit off? I see the land button, thankfully. But that shit was like a minute. That shit was like a minute hovering all around the goddamn office. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Maybe I will come on butt ass naked. Okay, maybe I will come on butt ass naked. Yeah, I did commit that. I'm telling you, I'm into extreme sports. Did I not tell you? By the way, they have a drone which I want to get, where you attach this thing on your wrist and you can run Like I like running. So you can run or you can go biking and it follows you. And I want to do that shit because I want to record all the shit that I'm doing. I want to record how I'm lifting heavy. I'm out here lifting heavy. What are you doing? You're on the couch lifting your remote control heavy. Like, no, we are not the same. I'm built different. I'm built different. Yeah, drone dodging is a sport, bro. By the way, people from California, hold on, before I go, people from California, I had this argument 5 years ago with one of my friends. She actually runs and does a lot of marathons out there. I might be going to California. I might be attending the Ironman half. What is it? The 5? I forgot what it is. I forgot what it's called. I might be going out there, okay? And I'm doing. That's why I'm working out hard. I got 3-4 months till the competition. Pray for me that I get through this shit because I'm going 2-a-days. This shit is hardcore. Anyway, what was I saying though? Yeah, California. So people in California, anybody from the Northeast knows handball, right? Handball. We're playing handball. We're smacking a blue ball. Okay, we're hitting the wall with a blue ball, a little ball. Okay, out in California, they're calling this wall ball. What the fuck is wall ball? And the way they always explain to me, it sounds like dodgeball. It doesn't sound like handball. No, they're throwing a big ass ball against a wall. What the that is not handball. What are we talking about? California is all fucked up. I'm sorry. California is all. The only place I'm gonna tell you right now, the only place in California that I would ever move to, San Diego. San Diego is the only place that I would ever move to if I ever moved to Cali. If I ever moved to Cali, it'd be San Diego. And when I was younger, I was a big fan of the San Diego, not San Diego, but Sacramento Kings. I used to be a big fan of them. So I probably would have moved out there as well. But San Diego is where I'd move out to because the weather is always chill. The weather's always chill. I got friends out there. I would have moved out there. Anyway, what the fuck am I talking about? We ain't even talking crypto no more. We're not talking politics no more. We're talking about my life stories out here. Thank you, Landy, for coming on today. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Fran. I will touch base with you about what you were texting me about. I just couldn't reply to. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who came over from TikTok. I know a lot of you guys probably didn't get the message. A few of you guys came over. Shout out to everybody who tunes in on Twitter to view this show, to watch this show, to hear me talk. Shout out to Tech, who's not here right now. Tech's still waiting for me to go on TikTok. Maybe I'll go on TikTok. I don't know. No, actually I won't because it is 70 degrees out and I'm going to tan my balls, okay? Because I want to get that vitamin D ultra fast into my system. That's right. And that is a true story. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. On that note, I am out.